Hello everyone, welcome to Storycraft. The theme today is monsters, and this is a story called The Monster's Monster by Patrick McDonald. And there he is, the monster's monster. Grouch, Grump, and Little Gloom and Doom thought they were monsters. They lived in a dark monster castle, high atop a dark monster mountain, overlooking a monster-fearing village. Their little monster heads were always filled with big monster thoughts. Smash, crash, and bash. Huffing and puffing, mad about nothing, their 10 favorite words were, no, 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 and no! Every day they argued over who was the biggest, baddest monster. Who could complain the loudest? Who could throw the most terrible tantrum? Who was the most miserable? These debates always ended in a brawl. One day, they decided to settle the argument once and for all. Grouch got some tape, tacks, staples, and glue. Grump found some gunk, gauze, and gobs of goo. Gloom and Doom grabbed bolts, wire, and a smelly old shoe. Together, they would make a monster, the biggest, baddest monster ever. And there they are creating it. They hoisted their creation into the stormy sky where, bam! A lightning bolt sent a powerful jolt through the creature. The monster started to twitch. "He's alive! Alive!" the little terrors exclaimed. The monster roared as he stumbled around, tearing away his bandages. "Big!" Little Gloom squealed. "Bad!" Little Doom squeaked. "Monster!" they all cheered together. The growling giant reached toward them, and then, in a deep, booming voice, he said his first words. "Thank you." He crushed them to his chest with a tight squeeze. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Monster wiggled his stubby monster fingers and tapped his clunky monster feet. He looked around in wonder and threw open a window. The room filled with warm, early dawn light, bird songs, and dewy fresh air. Monster smiled and let out a little giggle. "What do you think you're doing?" cried Grouch. Monster bounced about the room, gently greeting the many bats and rats and spiders and snakes around him. "No, no, no, no!" shouted the group. "You are supposed to be a monster!" But Monster didn't think he was a monster. He didn't think he was anything. But thankful to be alive, Monster became still, sniffing a hint of sweetness in the morning air. Suddenly, he let out a roar and smashed through the dungeon wall. "Ha ha!" Grouch laughed. "He's finally coming to his senses." "Yes, yes!" shouted Grump. "He's off to make mayhem in the village." "He's going to smash, crash, and bash!" cried Gloom and Doom. The rascals dashed after Monster, trying to keep up with his long strides down the mountain. "Monster! Monster!" they cheered after him. The village bakery was just opening for the day when Monster plowed through the front door. Grouch, Grump, and Gloom and Doom anxiously waited outside the shop, peering through the dusty windows. "Big," whispered Gloom. "Bad," whispered Doom. "Shh, shh," begged Grump. "I want to hear the howls and yowls." There was a tense quiet, and then finally, from inside the bakery, they heard, "Thank you." Monster appeared, clutching a white paper bag. Then he turned and headed out of town, toward the beach. "After him," the trio cried. "Monster! Monster!" Monster slowly knelt down on the soft, cool sand. Grouch, Grump, and Gloom and Doom collapsed in a heap around him. As they tried to catch their breath, Monster gently patted their heads. He carefully opened the bag and gave each of them a warm powdered jelly donut. Grouch, Grump, and Gloom and Doom were speechless. But then they remembered what their big bad monster had said. "Thank you!" Monster looked at them and smiled. They smiled back, and together they all started to giggle. Grouch, Grump, little Gloom and Doom, and their new friend sat quietly on the shore, watching the sunrise, and the seagulls playing, and the seagrass dancing, and the ocean glistening, and no one was thinking about being a monster. And that is The Monster's Monster by Patrick McDonald. Hey everyone, and now we're going to move on to our craft, and we're going to be making a monster. In your bag, you will have 2 pieces of contact paper. One is smaller and one is larger. I actually wrote small on one of them. You will have tissue paper, squares. You will have a mouth. You will have a red piece of paper, which you can use to cut out a nose. You will have a black piece of paper, which you can cut eyebrows and eyes out of, and you will have some hair. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your small piece of contact paper, and you are going to peel it off. Oh, you also need a glue stick and some scissors. Forgot to tell you that part. You bend the corner down to get that off, okay. So when you peel it off, you peel it away like that, and you put that to the side, and now you're going to hold it the long way and put it down the long way. And then you are going to take your tissue paper squares and stick them all over the contact paper, just in various places. It's a little sticky, so your hand will get stuck there too. They can overlap, so you could do it like this. You want to leave some room around each edge though, because then we need to be able to stick the other piece on, and it needs something to stick to. So you can stick green all over the place. This will just be for his monster face. Whoops, I just dropped a whole bunch of them. Well, that's okay, we'll just go with it. There you go. That might happen to you too. Okay. When you think you're ready and you're finished with that, you're going to take apart your big piece of contact paper. And again, peel the edge. Peel it. You may need a grown-up to help you with this part because you have to put it flat over the other one. And now you're going to press all the bubbles out. So you pat it down and press. Now remember, one is bigger than the other, so it's going to be stuck to the table. So you're going to pull it off, and now you're going to cut around the edge. And that's going to be the base for his face. And now this is where your glue stick comes in, because you want to put the parts of the face on. So you can take the hair, use your glue stick, and put some glue kind of in the middle because it's going to overhang a little bit. And you could put it like that. Okay, that'll be the top. And then you're going to use your black paper to cut out some eyes. And if you want some eyebrows, I just made my eyes like a square shape. You could do any shape you want. on there. You can make a friendly monster or a fierce monster, however you want to do it. Okay. You could use your red piece or some black paper, whatever you prefer, to cut out a nose. And then I did cut the mouth out for you, but you can use any color paper you want and make your own if you prefer. Put some glue on there and stick it on. And there it is, your monster. And you can hang it in the window and it will show the light through it.